You're listening to Goons, Games, and Gear, the sexiest gaming podcast in the world.
We're here. It's a two-man segment. That's right. We're still here, better than ever. You know what we're talking about today? We're talking about Call of Duty. Yes, our favorite franchise ever. Well, I know it's Derek's favorite, but
oh, I love it. It's the best. I mean, I don't know. What could you say about Call of Duty? I spend $60, now $70 every year. I still get disappointed. I just don't get it.
Not to start this with a sidetrack, but you totally just reminded me of this. I hate how much we're getting shafted on this $70 bullcrap. So like, not because of Call of Duty, but like it's always like, oh, the cross-gen bundle, so it's $70. Dude, just give me a $60 version that's just next gen. I don't care about like. See, I hate that, and I hate that no one talks about it. It just pisses me off. So it's like on PC games are $60, like more or less. And then you've got the PS5 version, or I'm sorry, the cross-gen version, $70. Like who? Seriously, how many people at this point are still playing on previous gen and still looking to buy to play on the next gen? Like I don't know. I just feel like it's just give me a $60 version of whatever version, and then if you upgrade, it's $10. I don't know. That just that's my rant of the episode. But
they only do it with like the first 6 games that come out with the system. Just keep that going forever. Like, I don't know.
Right.
What is the issue?
I don't know. We're just not allowed to have money. Anyway, Call of Duty, that's what we're talking about. And they are reporting that there's 50% less toxicity thanks to moderation systems. In other news, life is boring. You can't say mean things because people will cry. And life just isn't fun anymore.
It's so depressing, dude. Right. Call of Duty lobbies, I used to go in there and just we would get flamed the whole time, dude.
Right, but it made you stronger. It made you
it really did. Like going into a lobby, right? This is how a normal Call of Duty on 360 lobby would work, right? You get in a lobby, and it was like this really like unique, cool thing back in the day where you would like go in a lobby and it would like slowly fill it up, and everybody was coming in just like F-bombs, failed like abortions, like oh my god, things you could never think of now or even think of saying now. And then like you play the whole match and there's no talking in the game other than on your team, and then at the end during the final kill cam, everybody comes in and it's just like, you're trash, screw you. Like, oh, it was just, I don't know, it's just a time.
I think people are taking trash talking way too seriously. And I'm sorry, by people, I mean like Call of Duty, not the actual people. It's like, when I report, there's only 2 instances where I report people. One is if they're griefing, where they're actively like ruining the game for my own team and and personally making us lose. The other time is very explicit racism. Like I was playing Siege with some friends, and like, these members were just shooting swastikas into the wall. It's like, and it's just, well, one is I consider it griefing because it's wasting time. But of all companies, Ubisoft doesn't have a report for racism, which I found insane. I was like, what? Yeah, right. I was like, I'm going to report them. And my friend's like, oh, well, you can't report them for racism. I'm like, why not? It's like, there's no option to. I'm like, what? And I looked at it and it's like, yeah, there's no option for it. There's like griefing. There's
what?
There's like griefing. There's AFK, and there's and cheating. Those are the 3. Those are actually just the 3. And
that's insane,
right? I'm like that's messed up, And it's just like, if I was, imagine I wasn't streaming at the time, but like if I was, I'd be like, I have to either, I'm not sure if you have to turn it off or like what, or I just immediately destroyed them. No, actually, this is what happened. I shot them so they get disrupted, and then after the second time, the teammate shot me to like and killed me, and then I could report them for griefing because of team killing. So it worked out, but still, it's like that. Those are the times I report. Like if someone's like just yelling stupid crap at me, who cares?
Right. I don't care. Right? Like they're being idiots, which is fine.
Right. It's like that's what the mute button's for. That's
right.
See,
right.
that's
You can just mute people. Or guess what? In this day and age, you could be in a party system. You could be in Discord. It doesn't matter. There's ways to avoid it. Don't be a baby about it. Like, come on.
It's unbelievable. Like the mute function. It's simply just don't believe mute exists. You know, and even though you give it as an option, I don't know why Call of Duty doesn't like value that. So you get banned for like 7 days for like saying someone sucks.
It's insane.
Hey, remember, treat everyone with respect. We do not tolerate bullying or harassment, including derogatory comments based on race, gender identity or expression, sexual orientation, age, culture, faith, mental or physical abilities, or country of origin, or the implication of any person, agenda, or the movement or movement that promotes discrimination or violence based on the above. What can I say?
What am I allowed to say? Just tell me.
If I said, dude, like you need to improve on your aim, is that that's a
no-no?
Yeah,
no,
but really though, is that against mental? Is that like is that slamming against their mental?
Maybe they could make a claim as if like, you're mentally bullying that person, but like, I don't know. If you're bad, you should be told you're bad.
And remember, Call of Duty also, and now like Microsoft, like records your voice chats, or the voice comms.
Right. Like, so they know, they can look back and be like, oh no, that is what you said. Like we're not okay with that. You called him a big doo-doo head, and that's just like not cool.
Dude, that goes against our culture, our
our heritage. All right, we here have founded a heritage of sneaky, sleazy CEOs, but this is where we draw the line.
Right. Yeah, dude, you're not even wrong either. It goes on. All members of our community should be treated with dignity and respect. Communication with others, whether using text or voice chat, must be free of offensive or harmful language. Hate speech and discriminatory language is offensive and unacceptable, as is harassment and threatening another player. So, like, again, hate speech is one thing, right? Discriminatory language, I don't know. Like, see, that's so broad of like of a phrase. It's like if I was like, oh, what do your hands not work? Is that why you suck? Is that being discriminatory? If he has like a
right, what's the
line?
I need to know what the line is. Right. I don't know. Like, it's just like, it's so stupid how much they're pandering to these like babies, basically.
Really? So like few notes here. One, if you're a streamer, do not have voice comms in any games. That's just like that's a no brainer, right?
Right. Turn it off.
Right, just turn it off.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. People are just gonna scream at you, or no, I'm sorry, not even scream. Just like they'll say something stupid, and then it's your fault as a streamer, or at least how YouTube and Twitch sees it. Therefore, you'll get hit with a no hammer. But besides that, it's like, dude. There's just like, there's no point. You're just going to moderate everything I say. And like, I'm going to log in one day. It's like, oh, you're reported for saying something that we're not going to tell you what you said, but we're just going to tell you that you're, what's the word? That you're sentenced, basically.
Right.
So that's another thing. I've always said this. I honestly believe that there should be a law in place where like YouTube, Twitch, etc., if they're suspending you or something, they have to provide the specific evidence against you. Like,
they hide it. They like go out of their way to hide it 90% of the time. Right.
It's like, oh, you broke a harassment rule, and it's like, and then you're like, how? It's like, well, you just did it. But that's not,
that doesn't tell me how I did it though.
Like, I don't know how it works in the rest of the world, but in America, like with work laws, they have to tell you why you're being let go, or else you can. You can't sue them, but when you file for unemployment
for wrongful
termination.
Termination, yeah.
Right, if they don't give you a reason. Damn, I had an opportunity when we were younger and I missed it. Damn.
I never thought.
Oh no, Derek.
I guess that's why they terminated me. You like froze.
You froze and cut out for the last second. There you go. You're back now. Wait, repeat that last part.
I was like, oh, I wish I knew that as a kid, but I guess that's why we got fired, because
we didn't know. Right. I wish I knew, but I mean, I still used it for unemployment. Like they literally took me off the schedule and they didn't give me any reason. And then the company or the company was like, oh, but he didn't approach us ask us why he didn't get any hours, which is in term firing. Like, that's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility.
No, you make the schedule. I can check the schedule.
Right.
And if you don't put me on, I'm just gonna be like, okay, cool, whatever.
Either way, like that, that blows my mind. But I really wish we had a law in the books about that. Anyway, yeah. So voice moderation enforcement, Call of Duty says more than 2 million accounts have seen in-game enforcement for disruptive voice chat based on Call of Duty code of conduct. For disruptive behavior found by our voice moderation, only 1 in 5 users reported the behavior, showing an unfortunate trend that players often do not report in-game instances. Translation: Call of Duty saying, "Oh, we're so angry you're not narking on someone."
Right. Yeah. You're not reporting these people, so now we have to step in and do it ourselves. Basically.
It says in cases that go unreported, our voice moderation system allows us to take action against players that violate the code. So they're literally, if you're not reported but still say something, they're still gonna hurt you. Are you joking?
Right. That's exactly what they're doing.
That's insane. Active reporting is still critical so players can raise any negative situation they encounter. Dude, this is like Big Brother Call of Duty. This is it's like
it definitely is.
That's so depressing. To encourage more reporting, we've rolled out messages and thank players for reporting in the future. We're looking to provide additional feedback to players when we act on the reports.
Nice of them to put a message there saying thanks for being a narc.
I will say this, and specifically League of Legends, it is nice to see that like you get when you report somebody, usually for me it's for griefing, like you get a feedback report. It's like, oh, cool, it actually went through. But again, that's really, for me, that's only for griefing. I'm not gonna narc on someone for saying like, oh, you suck at the game. Like, dude, oh my god, people are such weenies. Oh my god,
I know, they're such babies. Just stop.
Reduction of repeat offenders. Again, when Call of Duty saw an 8% reduction of repeat offenders since the rollout of the game. They probably saw them just stop using.
They stopped playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, they stopped playing Call of Duty.
Stop using voice chat. Probably they actually use their brains and was like, "Hey, I can mute this guy," or just like, I don't know.
Let's see.
I couldn't tell you the last time I used voice chat in a game,
right?
Like this, like a multiplayer shooter. It had to have been like Siege, like forever ago.
And like I put Siege in all mute because when you're recording or even streaming, it's like just not worth the risk. But in like ranked, you kind of have to communicate, but that's also where the worst of the worst are. So so it's like, oh my god. So like I'm not playing ranked until I have like a 4 or 5 stack, but it's just like Call of Duty just goes way too far with this, particularly like it's so weird because Activision Blizzard is just a crap company that, sexually molest their coworkers. So like, where do they like they're such they're actually intense hypocrites. It's like, hey, it's not okay for you. It's not okay for you to be mean to other Call of Duty players. However, if you're CEO here, we don't mind. You can touch anyone. Like, oh god, it's got worse. Like the more I read it, the more
there's so much more to this than what we thought it generally meant was just like people being babies, but it's Activision being actually terrible.
Oddly enough, Ubisoft kind of does the opposite. They actually reward you for being a good player in terms of getting. They have a recommendation set. So you haven't played in a long time, but now it's like at the end of a match, there's like recommendations in terms of there's valor, dedication, and guidance. So like valor just means
they had that last time.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh. I don't remember that. So and then and if you like hit like the top rank, you get like more alpha packs and stuff like that. So that's a good way to like support other players. But Call of Duty's kind of do the opposite. It's like they're trying to find ways to support you for narking. Like, oh my god, Call of Duty, just relax.
Just stop.
You're still like every year you're selling like multi-millions of copies. Is this really where your like your focus is? I wonder.
I guess so. I think they're just bored. Right? Bored. Like Activision really doesn't do anything else anymore other than like Call of Duty. I feel like, and like, I don't know.
I'm curious. I wonder if they're like afraid of being sued for not doing enough, because the governments are also being giant paybees and like want more moderation systems in places anyway. I don't know. It's such a weird time we live in. Actually, by weird, I mean it's just terrible.
True.
It's a terrible time we live in. Everyone's poor. You can't basically talk. You can't talk at all in Call of Duty games. It's just
no calling each other stupid words.
No fun. No, you can't say anything fun.
No. You can't make fun of people. That's mean.
Hey, look, guys, everyone, our voice moderations are astounding success. Oh, sweet. How's Ricochet going with the anti-cheat? Our voice systems are resounding success.
Yeah. Awesome.
Don't worry about the millions of cheaters. Look.
What about just making like a good game, right? How's that going? No. Look, guys.
Voice chat's down by 50%. Okay. Right, but what about like
but good game? The game. I don't want to play the game.
No. Play the game. It's just the voice chat's better now.
It's fine. You could go into lobbies and talk. It's fine.
You can't really? Well, no, because you can't really say like even if they're not reporting you, we're still gonna get you.
Right. We'll make sure you pay.
And I have to imagine this is all monitored by like a program. So what if you say something like it's like
absolutely. They're not hiring people to do this. Come on.
Right. If I say you smell, I'm very curious if that will like it's like, hey, no one reported you, but our system detected you called something smelly. You said take a shower, which I would say is actually constructive criticism, because I'm just saying that you need the bait.
That was like the issue with like the one that Siege uses too, right? Like way back when like Spanish players were using their word for black,
right?
They, like set it as a bad no gamer word,
right?
But like obviously that's like their
literally
word for it, yeah. Like so I don't know. Like obviously it's gonna fail if you're letting the computers do it.
So I have a really hard time believing computers can work with this for voice chat specifically. Text chat, it's like, I think it just requires a lot of fine tuning, because sure, that's definitely an oversight that they easily could have like fixed with like region, like, oh, if they're in the, South America region.
Like, in this day and age, there's gotta be a setting that's like, accommodate Spanish language or whatever language, right? Like, I don't know.
Anyway, look there. I'm just saying, if I say get good, I have an 80% belief that they're gonna ban me for it.
Honestly, I like want to test it. We
run
have the new Call of Duty, so even if they ban us from the multiplayer, we could still play zombies. So
it's speedrun to get banned using words.
Ooh, yeah. That'd be a good stream.
I said get good in every chat to see if the AI detection would get me, and it did. You're banned for life.
Thanks.
You said, hey, we have a report saying, quote, you did great as a teammate, and I want to accommodate you for that. I hope we play again sometime. And that strictly goes against our voice moderation policy. I could totally see that. Anyway, any final thoughts before we call this?
Everybody stop being a baby. Just have fun in your lobbies. It's times that will make you stronger for the future.
Well, see, I agree with you to an extent, but I also would say that Call of Duty, stop babying people. Stop like it's like well, see, actually, I'm sorry, before we end this, really, where does the fault lie? Were people actually like going to Call of Duty like, hey, you need to do more to combat this? I've heard nothing about that. Versus, is Call of Duty just being
who's
like
complaining
Big
about this? Who are the people that are like, yeah, you got to do something? Someone called me a doo-doo head. I have never met that person, and if I do, I don't want to ever interact with them again. Like,
is it cultural issue? Is it Call of Duty just being cucks? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's insane. It's a terrible time we live in. I don't think it's going to get better. This has been Goon Games and Gear. signing out. Watch our stuff. Join our Discord. Become a member today.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Are you a weenie? Let us know.
Is it Big Baby? Daddy Activision? When I poopy in my diaper?
Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.